Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. You can. So, I got cut before I said the most important thing, right? So, outbreaks, they are being caused by many reasons, including if the disease is new, particularly among the people. If it's new among the population, right? Maybe we know that infectious diseases, they mostly come from animals, and then go by a spillover event during the interaction of the animal, the environment, and the people. Then we get to have infections. So in case the disease is new, like COVID, when it started, remember, it was very severe till we kind of acquired some immunity, both the innate, like natural immunity from getting sick from it, together with the vaccine immunity. So we had that hybrid immunity that assisted us to be resilient against it. But initially, Maisakala, to be seen among the people, it was more severe. So diseases, they get to be severe, or they could cause outbreaks if they are new among the people. It has never been seen before, so we do not have immunity against it. Also, sometimes we may have immunity and we may have a disease, even we may even have like a vaccine for that particular disease. But in case say that the virus itself or that bug changes, we know that in life cycle virus, they evolve over time, right? So as they evolve, they're trying to survive better. They update. I always make an example to say, you see, when you get to a Wi-Fi area, is OT update. Your phone updates itself. Then now TS, then your pictures are better, then your apps are better and stuff. Viruses are exactly like that. They update themselves over time. It's their life cycle, there's nothing we can do about it. So as they update themselves, they want to survive better, but that means they get to infect us as well. That's why we have scientists that are chasing them and that are culturing them. They are growing these viruses and they are monitoring their evolution, and they are able to guide us. We would be working all together to try and figure out on how to better survive, because these things are within our ecosystem. So if the virus that has always been there changes in itself such that the new version survives better or makes us more sick, right? Remember, COVID had so many variants. It would change over time. The ancestral strain, then Beta, Delta, Omicron, all these variants and mutants. So we can see, what we know that is that every virus does that, right? It just depends on how soon or how quickly does it evolve or change. That's actually the main reason why we have a flu vaccine every year, and we never question it much. We get our flu vaccines every year to try and minimize the severity of disease in case the flu gets us, simply because if flu virus evolve very quickly and just very often. So the flu vaccine that we all used last year may not work this year, because it would have changed to be better than it was last year. So the formulas are being changed to chase and to accommodate the new versions of that particular virus. So that's the main reason why we have flu vaccine, or you may get to be vaccinated multiple times for a certain disease. That's one other reason. So we do get outbreaks if the virus has been there, but now it mutated such that there's clinical significance. I just want to emphasize this as well. So we did say it's their nature to evolve into mutations like that and variants, right? It is not always clinically significant. Sometimes they do have those variants, or they mutate like that, but clinical significance is not there. So as us, the epidemiologists and other public health care specialists, what we take the lab research together with the population research and merge it to ascertain the clinical significance of any disease, because what is found always in the lab when we're chasing these bugs may not always be clinically significant, but it's extremely important because it guides the information that we need among the people. So for instance, when we got Omicron, it was found to be more transmissible, so it was infecting too many people. One would infect too many people, right? So it talks to transmit among the people faster, but that did not translate to clinical significance in terms of severity of disease. As much as too many people were sick at the same point in time, not everyone needed intensive care or to be hospitalized or to go and be in a hospital, be under the medical care. People were able to fight it off by themselves. So that tells you that sometimes the evolution of these bugs may talk to one of the aspects. The transmissibility, yes, but we also mainly concerned with the severity of disease. So outbreaks, they can also emerge from we call this epidemiology. When the epidemiology of that disease changes, it talks to the severity of disease. If more people needs medication, if more people needs hospital, if more people are dying, that is severity of disease, and that is clinical significance. So we do chase them and ensure Uguti is the data translating to that or the clinical significance or not, as much as they can evolve. So yeah, I just spoke about that to shed some light. Like these outbreaks, they do emerge from sometimes the virus that has been there, but is gingerly changed itself to be a more improved version. Therefore, we could get sicker more. It could change our severity of disease or the epidemiology of that particular disease. So those are some of the reasons why, and that tells you when there are strict measures against the disease. Maybe the government is like let's just cutting our COVID lockdown, vaccination. Sometimes it may be suggestion of mass vaccinations and stuff. When our outbreaks, even last year we had outbreaks with measles, and it produces among babies, and those diseases are severe among babies, and they kill more babies. They make them more sick. That's why babies are getting immunized against those diseases. So that's why there would be or emerging those outbreaks. Then the ministries or the health authorities, they will be now instituting a vaccination campaign and saying all the babies say their dose, their second dose or third dose, or that and not immunized at all, they must come and get their dose. Others must come get their boosters. That tells you it's a disease that has always been there, but outbreaks, especially affect those that are partially immunized or not immunized, vaccine immunized, because that's a measurable immunity compared to natural immunity. We'll talk some other time. I feel that there's a need to talk a little bit about this immunity or vaccine on why is it important and why is it needed, and why sometimes you get 2 doses or 1 dose or multiple doses or bottomless doses like flu. I've been vaccinating against the flu ever since I don't remember. So it disease here, and then it's going to affect people generally. We are all exposed to the same virus. Example, all these bugs, we are all exposed to them, but not everyone gets sick. Among the sick, not everyone gets severely sick. Among the severely sick, not everyone gets to die. So we are also going to be tracing and explicitly describing to say who is at risk. That's why that's the most important thing. In case we are talking about diseases, we want to know exactly who is at risk, who is at highest risk of that disease, and who is at highest risk of succumbing to that particular disease. So that's the information that's the most important. And diseases in general, the people that will be at risk in general, right? It's extremes of age, people that are too young, especially newborn less than 6 months, and babies under 5, children as well. Mostly affected by diseases, and people that are much older the age. Remember, babies are not born with immunity, so they need to generate their immunity after they've been born and stuff. So that's why, because they don't have immunity, most of them would be those that were born prematurely, even they don't have immunity. And those that are much older, we know that immune system, we generated ourselves, right? But when we grow older, more than the ages of 60, we are no longer generating immunity. So those people they have it depressed immune system like babies. And people, sometimes it could be me and you, people like that are as young as us, but now they have comorbidities or the other diseases that they live with, or they are on chronic treatment or are steroids or some some chronic diseases like or cancer or diabetes or hypertension or heart diseases or obesity has to nayo iyakwazi uba one of the vulnerabilities across other diseases. So those are some of the things that could make it outbreak ibe khona if it affects certain group of people yabo at same time. So yeah, but for now nothing to